Hi, I'm TJ with Envision. It's May 15th, 2023, and I think this was the biggest week yet in AI news, although I might be saying that a lot in the coming future. This is a series where we cover the AI and SEO news of the week for local service businesses such as our client. It's something we do to keep up internally, but we also share it with anyone who's interested in keeping up with what's going on in SEO and AI as it pertains to local service businesses. And this was a very big week, mostly because of Google I/O, which was on Friday, May 12th, but a lot of other things came out, and I'm actually leaving out a lot of it because this just would have been a 2-hour video if I went through all the announcements that came out this week. But I'll try to stick to the ones that are going to be most relevant, and I'll include links to ones that I'm just going to kind of glance over and not spend too much time on. The first one that I'm very excited about is ChatGPT plugins and web browsing are coming to all Plus users, at least the beta version of it. So OpenAI announced this on Friday that in the coming week, all Plus users, that's like us, paying $20 a month, will have access to plugins and web browsing. That's so cool. I'm a little hurt right now that I haven't gotten access to it yet, and a bunch of people have, but presumably by Friday, we will have access. And if you don't remember, um, there's two things here. Web browsing is kind of like a plugin, but plugins essentially allow ChatGPT to communicate with other apps that can do stuff for you. So when they demoed this, they talked about, they showed Instacart, where like it would make a meal plan for you and then put all the ingredients in Instacart and order it for you and make reservations for you at a restaurant. But there's 70 different plugins that we're going to have access to. Wolfram Alpha is another one that can do like really advanced calculations and knows just a lot of like numbers and stuff that ChatGPT is bad at. And then of course web browsing, where it can go and search the web and it'll show you everything it's doing. So you can go ask it to compile all the latest AI news, and it'll say, "Oh, I went to this site, and then I went to this site. I searched for this. I went to this website." It'll just go out and do things for you and come back with a bunch of information. I think the opportunities that are going to open up from this are limitless, and it's just really hard to imagine all the things we'll be able to do with this. I don't know exactly what the 70 plugins are yet, but I'm really excited to test this out. And like I said, I don't really know the exact applications for this. Just like when ChatGPT came out, the first thing I did was have it write a limerick, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. I wonder what we'll be able to use this for. And every day we're coming up with new things we can use it for. It's going to be the same. These plugins are just going to open up a whole new avenue of opportunities for us. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of the news this week. The reason I started with that is because I just want to make the point before I get into Google I/O that it looks like Google is catching up with OpenAI and Microsoft. Microsoft's using OpenAI's technology. Um, and it was a pretty exciting Google I/O. Now, I don't know if they're there yet, and we'll get into that, but we're really starting to see these kind of two platforms emerge. Now, there might be a third one, like the memo we discussed last week. Um, Someone from Google thinks that these open source models are just going to pass up these big companies who are protecting their models because they can move quicker. They're getting more impact or input from the community. But right now, it's definitely Google and OpenAI/Microsoft are the two platforms, and it looks like they're going to have a similar model after we heard Google's presentation. And that is, you have a large language model like ChatGPT or Bard as kind of the hub that you're communicating with. It's the interface, so to speak. And you ask it anything, but then it connects to a bunch of modules. And you'll see, just like I showed with ChatGPT's plugins, Bard's going to be doing the same thing. It's going to be integrating with other applications that do things better than a large language model can do, like math, like image generation, and then pulling that back in so that the large language model is just the interface. It's just the thing you're talking to. It's Jarvis, right? It's your personal assistant. Soon, I'm sure, on your phone. I'm sure Google Pixel is going to be incorporating it. That's one advantage they have over Microsoft, and it'll go out and figure out what plugins are best. What can I just give you? If you just need me to write something, cool, that's great. But pretty much anything outside of that, there's going to be some program out there that can do it better. Some other, probably AI software that it can connect to, get the information it needs, and bring it back. And then we're going to get just an incredibly smart personal assistant. And this is happening very quickly. So we need to be ready for it. We need to see how we can take advantage of these new emerging technologies and really bring that value to our clients. So let's get into Google I/O, which you can see makes up a lot of the content of this video. To start with, Palm 2. This is kind of the announcement that drives all the other announcements. So if you don't know, Palm is the technology behind Bard, Google's large language model. This is their big technology. The big thing that separates it apart from OpenAI's GPT technology is that it's much smaller. It's much more lightweight, and of course, dumber. But Palm 2 so far is pretty impressive. It's partially impressive because GPT's models just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which is why GPT-4 takes so long and is so expensive to run. Palm 2 is actually smaller than Palm 1, but much smarter. Now, it looks like it's not as smart as GPT-4 yet, but there are some tasks that people are reporting it does better than GPT. Now, when it just comes to writing text or probably even code, GPT is still the way to go, and that's still going to be our gold standard for now. But there are certain things like any language other than English, Palm 2 is excelling at. Math, Palm 2 is better at. And then they're also using it in specific areas like security and medicine. And right now, Palm 2 or Palm Med, I think it's called their medicine version of this can outperform clinicians, as I talked about in last week's video. And there's a lot of technology going on in wearables. I know this doesn't relate to our clients, but I'm just really excited about it because it does seem very soon that this could supplement or maybe even replace some physicians or the needs for like checkups or expert advice there. Because even as of right now, Palm 2 is better at diagnosing when it has information than physicians. Now, of course, that doesn't replace a checkup. But anyways, let's get back to local service businesses and the technology that applies there. So Bard is now actually available for almost everyone. Everyone in the US. There's some countries like Canada for some reason that doesn't have access, but anyone can just go and use Bard, test it out, and it's free and it's fast. So of course we have ChatGPT Plus, and if we're writing anything important, that's the way to go right now. But we'll see what comes out, and feel free to play around with Bard. There's some good uses there. Bard is also going to integrate Google Maps, so this has big implications for our clients. You'll actually be able to get information from Google Maps, see Google Maps, and this is, I'm going to get into this later in the video, but this is where I want you to start thinking about how do we make sure our clients are as prominent as possible in these conversations, in these prompt and response interfaces that Google and Microsoft are pushing and that are accelerating very quickly, because this seems to be the way people are going to search in the future. I don't know if SEO will still even be a term, or if we'll talk about search engines, or if it'll all be this. I think for a while, though, we're going to have some kind of hybrid of, and that's what we'll get into in a little bit. Google Lens is also supported in Bard now, so you can take a picture. If you're not familiar with Google Lens, you should be. On Google phones, it's just in there on the image, on the photo app, but you can ask questions about an image. Google's image recognition technology is probably the best, although it's hard to say now with Midjourney and Stable Diffusion. But it's really good at understanding the context of a photo. And so you can take a photo and then you can search, you can take a picture of a shoe and say, hey, where can I buy this in size 11? Or can I get this in red? And so that's going to be really relevant for product businesses, and our clients are mostly service-based businesses, but I think there's also going to be some application there. And the fact that it's in Bard, especially when you start thinking about like wearables, where maybe your glasses or something on your person could just see the world in front of you, and now you're just having a conversation with an AI that can also see everything that you can see, and you can just point to things or talk about things, take pictures, however it ends up being. This could really shape how people search, and it could make images and videos from our clients much more important. Adobe Firefly also now integrates with Bard, and this is kind of showing the AI wars starting to heat up. A lot of these companies like Adobe or Instacart are going to pick a platform. Now, I think in a lot of cases, you'll be able to access these through Bard or through ChatGPT, but sometimes I think they're going to want an exclusive arrangement, and they're going to have to pick one. And this is going to become, the Windows and the Mac, or the PlayStation and the Xbox, where you got to decide which platform has the best partnerships, but this is a pretty strong one for Google. Because if you don't remember, Adobe Firefly is Adobe's new generative art uh, addition. I don't. It's actually just worked into a bunch of their products, so it can generate images, it can edit images, all with prompts. And now soon, it says it's already integrated. I haven't tried it out yet, but it says it's integrated with Bard, so you could create images or edit images right inside of Bard. That's going to be pretty insane, and it's going to change, I think, a lot of how we do things, as is a lot of other things we're about to talk about. Gemini, there's not a lot of information on this yet, but I just want to put a flag out there. This is the next thing that Google is working on. So right now, Bard is running on Palm 2, but Gemini is supposed to be like the GPT-5 competitor. Now, OpenAI, who has been criticized for not being safe enough, has actually stopped developing GPT-4. They're not training a model right now. They're not working on number 5. They're just trying to make the current one a little more reliable and safer. And Google's saying, forget that. Guardrails are off. We're going full steam ahead, and we're building the GPT-5 competitor now. So that's a little scary, just as a citizen of the world. But as these images, I got to scroll down. But as a digital marketer, as a digital marketing company, it's exciting, and it's important for us to make sure we're taking advantages of any of these opportunities. So Gemini could be a game changer. It could be the thing that pushes Google ahead of Microsoft and OpenAI. We'll just have to wait and see. Again, not much information on that yet. Duet. This one could make a big difference very quickly. So Duet is kind of a blanket term for a bunch of Google's new products that are coming out this month. Some of them say in the coming months, some of them say by the end of this month, May. We're going to have a AI assistant in a lot of Google Workspace products, and as well as Google Cloud. Now, we don't do a lot of stuff in Google Cloud except for just typical hosting. We're not developing software in there, but very soon it could become much easier to set up databases, develop custom software, and do some really advanced things inside of Google Cloud merely by using prompts and having the AI walk us through it. Now, it's not that we can't develop those things, it's just that it's typically time consuming and expensive, and this will make it less time consuming and cheaper. So this could be a game changer. But that's not what's going to affect us right away. Right away, it's going to be the additions that Duet brings to Google Workspace. So inside of Gmail, you'll be able to draft emails. Now, whether that's better than going to ChatGPT to help you with emails is questionable. We're not drafting most of our emails with AI, of course, but it can be helpful if you just have some bullet points and you want it to structure it for you. Gmail will be able to help you with that. You're gonna be able to generate images from text in Google Slides. This will make presentations a lot easier. You could also have it write the speaker notes for you in Google Slides, or summarize the entire slides presentation for you. So it's akin to what Microsoft has already done with Microsoft Office. Very happy to see it coming to Google Workspace, because I was very jealous of the tools that Microsoft has. Also in Google Meet, it'll let you summarize meeting notes. We're using, I think what's called Super AI or something for that right now. We'll be able to do it just natively in Google Meetings. Google Sheets will be able to create templates for you to just, I can't remember some of the examples they gave, like give you a pricing sheet for a dog wash business. But presumably any kind of template we can imagine, we could just give it a prompt and it would create that for us. In Docs, in Google Docs, you'll be able to have it generate text for you, or analyze text for you, proofread, summarize, all the stuff that we would do in ChatGPT, we'll be able to do right inside of Docs. Now, again, where is that right now? We might still want to use ChatGPT, but it's exciting that it's coming, and it does seem like, for the first time in a while, I feel like Google has a real shot of winning this war against Microsoft and OpenAI. I'm sure that's why they held off so much of this for Google I/O. I think they really wanted to wow the world and make us think that Google's coming in fast, probably a little too fast, but it worked. And so I'm very optimistic for Google, and hopefully the safety is in place. There's a waitlist link in the article here, so I urge everyone to just join that waitlist so we can start playing around with it as soon as possible. We really want to stay on the forefront of this. The generative search experience. This is one of the biggest announcements we saw. There's a really cool video. I won't play it here, or at least not with the audio on. If I can, there we go. But I'll let you see some of it. And I do recommend watching this video. It's really well made. It's a fun video. I've watched it twice now. But it'll show some of the generative um, AI that they're putting right into Google search. So this won't appear for every search, but for a lot of questions, it'll show an AI generated answer like you would see in Bard, but also with products and images and business listings. So this is going to dramatically affect our clients and the way that people find them online. And so this is kind of at the forefront of my thinking and our whole company on how we need to pivot to make sure we're giving our clients the biggest opportunities to show up in the new search experience. So you can see here, they're comparing 3 restaurants. They asked the AI to pick 2 of them, and then they added a third one. We want to make sure the AI is picking our clients. And I think that's going to come down a lot to just getting information about, making it so that information about our clients' businesses is easy to find as the AI spider crawls the internet. I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But this is really exciting. I think they did a really good job presenting this. We'll have to wait and see how good the results are, but there's a ton of potential here. And even if the results are weak when it first launches, I'm sure in the coming year, it's going to get really good, just like all these AI models are. So that's available in labs. You can kind of play around with their demo once you sign up for their waitlist. Let's talk about perspectives. This is something that Google's doing to try to get more opinionated content, mostly from creators, into Google search. So when you search certain questions, especially questions that don't have a hard and fast answer, but rather where you might want to hear a lot of opinions, this was how to make friends in a new city, then it's going to pull videos and blog posts and forum comments and anything it can find from trusted creators, popular content that really addresses your query. So this really opens up a whole new avenue of content that could be shown on Google. Previously, this type of content doesn't rank well. It rarely appears in Google search results. But this perspectives tab, it's a little button at the top that shows up on some searches, can really be a game changer, and it can really shift how we prioritize that type of content when it comes to our clients. And it's one more reason, I'm slowly building this argument that I'm going to close at the end of this video, one more reason why we're going to really want to get our clients' opinions more of their opinions, more of their thoughts on their industry, on their city, on their business. And you'll see why that could be so useful in a couple other ways as well. This quote from Google I found very informative. It says, in addition to making it easier to find authentic perspectives, we're also improving how we rank results in search overall, with a greater focus on content with unique expertise and experience. So it's rare that Google comes out and just says how they're ranking stuff or what changes they're making, but they're saying right here, they're going to prioritize experience and expertise more than they have before. And it makes sense. It's the one piece that AI can't provide on its own, is direct hands-on experience with products, with services, with the world. And so that's where the value in humans is going to lie. AI can do a lot of this stuff that we thought humans were going to be solely responsible for the next 50 years. But we could still have experiences in the world, and AI can't. And so sharing those experiences, adding that to the content, to the website, is going to be crucial in winning in this new world we're entering into. Immersive view, I won't spend too much time on this. It's just a cool thing that Google's adding. They can come up with these routes, but this whole video is just generated by AI. This isn't drone footage. This is something Google can just do now because they have a model of not the entire world, but of certain cities. So this is coming out to I think like 15 cities that they have full models of, but it's probably not too long before nearly the entire world is represented as a 3D model in Google's databases, and they can just make videos like this of anything. We've seen this inside of businesses as well. If you get enough photos of the inside of your business, you can just take a 3D tour and you don't even need video footage or anything. You can just generate the model. So getting images of our client's business, both inside and outside, I think is going to be even more important than it is now. Another thing that we'll want to push going forward. This was really interesting, and one way that I think um, will really benefit our clients. So Google last year released their helpful content system, and the goal of that system was to demote low quality content. And they did it right when AI content was starting to become an issue. And so a lot of people thought it was them combating AI content. I think it was partially that. I think Google saw, hey, we're probably about to get flooded with low quality content, and we don't want to be ranking that. And so they really started emphasizing experience and expertise and trust, and being pickier about what they showed online and demoting everything else. Around that time, or really for the last 2 years, we've also seen a decline in the rankings of our clients' blog posts. Not just our clients, also their competitors. Small businesses have kind of lost in this game as Google pushes harder and harder to show trustworthy results in their search results. We've seen that smaller organizations get demoted because Google's scared, right? Google wants to make sure they're providing good results, and it's just easier to do that if you stick to the big national brands that everyone knows and trusts. This seems to be an attempt to remedy that. They're calling it the Hidden Gems update, maybe. I think they started using update and system a little bit differently than they used to. But essentially, what it means is they're going to try to surface more content from hard to find places. And the examples they give is a comment in a forum thread, a post on a little known blog, or an article with unique expertise on the topic. So that's our clients in a nutshell right there, not the comment part, but the little known blog. So it seems like Google's AI is getting good enough that they think they can recognize high quality content even if there aren't a bunch of links pointing to it. One more reason to think that maybe Google is devaluing links, which we know they're devaluing links, they've told us that. But the smarter AI gets, the less Google has to rely on links and the more they rely on quality. And we've always put a lot of emphasis on quality, so this should already really favor our clients. But going forward, getting that expertise from our clients, getting that experience from our clients, and making sure it's in the content is really going to win this out. And those companies that are focused on putting out generic content and building a bunch of links to it are going to lose in the end. It's just a matter of when the AI is smart enough to know, like, this article is high quality. I don't care if no one's linking to it. I'm putting it at the top of the search results. That's what Google's trying to do. And it's just a matter of when will the AI be smart enough to do it effectively. And that might already be now. If it's not now, I think it's very soon. So we really need to focus on getting that expertise from our clients. Project Tailwind. This is a really cool, it's a new platform that Google's releasing. You can join the waitlist right now, as I did. It really solves a problem that ChatGPT has not solved yet, which is you can give it a huge corpus of data, documents, and then you can query I'm sure it's powered by Bard. You can ask it questions on those documents. You can have it summarize it. You can have it create new documents that are similar. There are countless examples that I've wanted to use ChatGPT for and couldn't because you can't provide this much documentation to it before you start querying it. Project Tailwind seems like it's going to address that. Is Bard smart enough for it to be useful in our cases? We'll see, but from what I'm hearing, I think it will be. I think this is going to be a game changer. We can bring in a bunch of, for example, we could bring in all the blog posts for our client and say, hey, this is what we have so far. Help us come up with other blog topics, or help us draft outlines for new blogs. But we can also bring in other data. We can bring in information from the industry, from competitors, and we can query it on that. I think there's going to be a lot of great use cases for this. So join the waitlist if you can, and then we'll just wait and see when we get access and start playing around with it. Google has added a label to images to denote that they're AI generated. And I think this is mostly virtue signaling. I think Google, in their I/O presentation, did a lot of things to say, hey, look, we're the good guys, kind of ignoring the fact that they've taken off the guardrails and they're going full steam ahead, ignoring the alignment issue with AI. But hey, we're adding AI generated some images, except they're not adding it. We have to add it. And so the question is, does it make sense for us to add AI generated to our images? I don't think there's any legal protections here by adding it. I don't see any real incentive to adding AI generated. I don't think people are going to be looking for AI generated images over actual images. And so we'll just wait and see how this plays out. Maybe we'll have some reason to add it in the future. I just haven't seen it myself just yet, at least in the last few days. Universal translation, this totally just nullifies what I said last week, which is just a pattern that I'm getting used to. Technology is moving so quickly. Last week I had said, hey, maybe we could use this new 11 Labs technology to translate our clients' videos. Well, Google's working on technology called Universal Translator, which does this automatically. It's a really cool presentation if you're interested in seeing it. They show a video that was spoken in English, and then using this technology, they turn it into Spanish, but it's still using her voice speaking Spanish. It translated it automatically, and her lips move to the Spanish words. So this is a game changer, and this might just happen automatically in YouTube. If maybe it's a checkbox you can enable to let YouTube translate your videos into other languages. But this this will definitely be a game changer. Suddenly, our clients' videos can just be available in other languages, and it'll be them saying the words. I'm not going to spend any time on Music LM, but I just wanted to point out that it does look like Google is winning the race on AI-generated music, and some of it's pretty good now. I heard some good stuff for the first time in my life. AI music's been terrible, but it looks like this is getting very close to being usable, where we could just have unique music for any projects we're working on for clients. Now that was kind of that was the Google I/O news, most of it at least. I left out stuff that seemed less relevant to our clients. But now I have some boring, just regular, mundane search news, but still important stuff. One being these new topic bubbles. These have been shown on. Oh, tweet doesn't exist anymore. These have been shown on mobile results for a while, but they're now appearing on desktop results. It's these little bubbles right here that kind of let Google narrow down your search results to exactly what you're looking for. We haven't seen them play a big role in our clients' traffic so far, but I think as the AI gets more sophisticated and as generative AI gets built into the search results, these will matter a bit more. And we'll want to pay attention to which bubbles appear for which search results so that we can make sure that we're targeting the right topics. I'll keep you abreast of that information as it comes. And then just piggybacking on what I had said last week with the Google Business Profile categories mattering more. I thought this was an interesting read from Sterling Sky. It's really short, but they just show a few examples of how adding additional categories and services can really help clients. This is something we're already doing. You can have a maximum of 10 categories, and we always try to max that out. But of course, we don't want to add categories that are completely irrelevant, but this makes a good argument that maybe if it's even just slightly relevant, we just go ahead and add it. There's no downside to having more categories on your Google Business Profile. There's no downside to having more services. So we want to add as many as possible so that we are relevant for as many searches as possible, as this has become a much bigger ranking factor in the last few weeks. And then this was just an interesting find. People noticed on some Google Business Profiles that have messaging enabled, it now says chat with a live agent. We're not sure why they show this and sometimes don't. The only thing that we've seen is that it will not show up if you're using a third-party messaging program, but if you're doing messaging straight through Google Business Profile, this could show up. And the one more reason there to enable messaging for our clients, or to encourage our clients to enable messaging. And I think in the coming weeks, we'll be looking at integrating something like Leadferno on our own website and kind of being the guinea pigs so that we can start presenting that to clients, Leadferno or something like that, to handle all these chat apps, because it's good to make it easy for people to contact you, but then it's hard to respond to all of those messages and calls. And so something like Leadferno takes all that and puts it in one place. So then you can have messaging on your website and your Google Business Profile and on Facebook, and all of them just come to one place. You don't have to worry about hopping between apps and responding at different places. I think that's going to be key moving forward, especially when text messages are becoming so much more universal with businesses. I've talked about this a few times, but FAQ snippets are showing up less and less in search results. It might not be worth adding that structured data in the future, especially as Google's getting better at just understanding the content on a page. But we'll decide. We haven't decided yet on what we'll do internally there. And then I didn't include a link to this one because this video is already so long, but Meta is really pushing hard on AI, and they're coming out with some really cool stuff. But they just released a image, text, audio generator, so you can input image or text or audio, and it can output image, text, or audio. So an example is you give it a picture of a dog, and it gives you the sound of a dog barking, or you give it the sound of a train, and it gives you a picture of a train, or you give it the sound of running water and the word apple, and it gives you a picture of apples with water running over it. I've seen stuff like this, but nothing nearly as impressive as Meta. So this is just like their cutout technology and their drawing to animation technology. The things they're working on, they're way ahead of anyone else, it seems. So they're going to be a big player in this generative AI space, mostly when it comes to image and animation and 3D art. So that'd be really cool. I'm sure that's all going to be worked into their creative suite within the ads manager. All right. So I told you I was kind of forming an argument throughout this video, and I kind of want to close it out here with my predictions. Like I said before, I think experience is quickly becoming the most important ranking factor in Google. Information is going to be easy to come by. Articles are going to become less expensive. In the future, it might not make sense to go to a website to read an article when you can just have the AI create an article for you that encompasses the information from a bunch of websites. What's going to be important for our clients is that when people are looking for a business, the AI is recommending them, just like with search right now. And so a lot of that is things we're already doing, which is great. We pay a lot of attention to getting information on clients' websites about the client and including their expertise whenever we can. However, I do think we're going to want to get more aggressive with that. And I think the changes are going to allow us to reach out to our clients and explain the need to really have more content from them. So we're working now on processes to better extract that expertise from the clients without taking up too much of their time, and while still being efficient with our time so we can do as much work as possible for the client. I think one example of that is just getting clients into the habit of even once a month recording a short video talking about their products and their services and their region. And so we could help come up with questions, and they could just record short videos. Each question could have a 2 to 5 minute response. And now we have a video that we can use. We can take that transcript, we can use it in text as a blog post. We can put it on YouTube, on TikTok. We can take information to add to the service pages. I think these AI tools are really going to be great at taking content like that and then dispersing it in a lot of different forms so it's easily accessible, again, by the AI, right? It's just circular at that point, but that's what we need. The one piece that the AI can't do for us is that expertise, is the words that our clients are speaking into the video or on a call or through an email. But I think a video would be the easiest. So again, we're just in the early days. We're trying to move quickly as this AI technology is moving quickly, but something like that is probably going to be coming into our service offering and available for clients who have the time. So I think, and then in terms of content, I think general content about, what tint can I put on my car? Actually, that's a bad example because that changes from state to state. But I think general information about like the difference between paint protection film and ceramic coating, using that because we have a lot of auto shop clients, that's going to become less valuable. And what's going to become more valuable is information about the client specific business and about their specific city. We haven't focused as much on that content in the past because there's not a lot of searches for that. But when everyone has an AI assistant on their phone and they're not doing one search to find a business, they're having a whole conversation with their phone about like, oh yeah, but how far away is that one? Okay, maybe I don't want to go there. What's the return policy? Do they get a lot of complaints? Those kind of things, those kind of conversations are going to be occurring much more. I mean, they don't really occur at all right now. They're going to become very normal. and people are just going to have full conversations with their personal devices. And so therefore, it's very important that the AI on these devices knows as much as possible about our clients and why people should hire them. So anyways, this video is already too long, but I'm really excited about the things that are coming. I think we're in a great position to offer a lot of value to our clients with these new tools and technologies that are evolving. Thank you for watching. If you want to keep seeing these updates, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next week.